Okay. I don't know how that happened. I checked it. But it did. Anyway, here we are. Let me refresh my computer. And we're going to get going. It's exactly 10 o'clock. So that kind of worked all right, didn't it? All right. I'm not seeing it on my computer yet. So just a minute. And that way I can see who's here. All right. So again, good morning. It is so nice and cool this morning here in Denton, Texas. The wind is blowing and it's just cool. And the sun is out. So anyway, I put on my sweats. I may change out of those later in the day as it warms up, but it's not going to get very much warmer. And I'm so thankful for cooler weather, aren't you? So I don't know where you are. Let me know where you are if you're not in Texas and what your weather is like. Good morning, Kay. Thank you for being here. All right. So, Ever Eden. Ever Eden is the designer series paper that goes with Eden's Garden. And let me explain to you. There's a new catalog coming out in January, a mini catalog. But Stampin' Up! Decided to do an early release of one of the collections. And demonstrators were allowed to purchase it this past month, during the month of October. And starting November 2nd, you can purchase it. If you're not a demonstrator, you can purchase this set. So I decided to gear my November class to go around this set. So for the November class to go, which is always, the class to goes are always $35. And for the November class to go, you will receive this stamp set. It's got the big bundle of greenery and berries, and then several smaller sprigs, and sending hugs. Let's celebrate everything. Dear friend, how are you? My heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. I love that. And then hello there. So those are the sentiments included with this stamp set. So with your November class to go, you get this stamp set, plus you get 1/4 of a package of the Ever Eden paper. And you get 4 complete card kits. And they'll have everything you need in them, plus you get the PDF tutorial with photos. So all of that for $35. Let's look at the Ever Eden paper. This paper is gorgeous. So the thing I love about it is that it has the little bits of gold in every one of the sides of the paper. And I don't know if you can see the gold, the shimmer. Let me see if I turn it up or turn it this way maybe. You can, yes, you can see the gold. I know that you can see it now. Well, there's gold in each one of these. So it's very, it makes it very easy to add gold accents, which I love. And then the paper that coordinates is the Soft Succulent and the Evening Evergreen. Those are the 2 colors that coordinate best with this paper. So you can see the one side and then the flip side of it. There's just on the flip sides, you just get different patterns. This one doesn't really show you. In fact, let me see if I've got the paper right here. I want to show you this paper because, let me set this down and see if the paper is, yeah, here it is. Let me show you that one sheet of paper because I tried to capture it on my little corner, but I couldn't, obviously. So it's this paper. But look at it. It's ombre. It goes from dark down to light. So it's an ombre paper. And it's just beautiful. So fun to use. You can see down here where I tried to capture the essence of it and I couldn't. So that's that paper. So you have a good selection of very neutral backgrounds on one side, and then on the other side you've got your pieces of gold in the paper that you can play and have fun with. So you get a quarter of a package of this Ever Eden paper. You get the stamp set, you get the 4 card kits, and the tutorial. All of this for $35. Then should you decide to do the add-on, there's always an add-on of some kind, and it's optional. You don't have to do it. But this time, of course, the add-on are the Eden dies. And let's see. I've got some of them, one of them over here that we're going to use today. But these are the dies. And oh my goodness, the potential for these dies is just awesome. So you've got your rectangular shaped piece of greenery, and I'm going to show you at least one way to use that. And then you have a smaller piece of a rectangular shaped piece of the berries, and then you've got a sprig. This is for your sentiment, and then this is a border. So these list for $35. So that's your price. $35 is the cost that you would pay from the catalog for these dies, and I pay for the shipping and the tax. So $35 for the November class to go, and then $35 for the add-on. But you have to RSVP for this by November the 11th. So that's coming up. That's a week from today. No. Is it a week from today? It's 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks. And I also want to tell you about the Penguin Party. And that's coming up November 20th. Saturday, November 20th from 9:30 to noon. And we are going to have so much fun with our penguin set. So there will be a to-go option as well. And you'd need to let me know about that. So this class it's either a $30 cash fee or a $35 order. And you can wait until that day to place your order. Or you can place it in advance. And I'm going to post the information for that on the website. So you have to RSVP for that by Wednesday, November 10th, because I have to order the paper. So let me know. Oh, no, I don't have to order the paper for that. For the Penguin Party, you get a third of a package of the Penguin Playmates paper that was during celebration, and I ordered enough of it to share in a workshop. So you get a third of a package of the Penguin Playmates paper, along with your 6 Penguin Place cards. So, and if you bring your own Penguin Party stamp set and punch, I'm going to give you a $5 coupon that you can use off your order or off of your next order. So that's just to keep us from all having to use the same stamps, since it's all about Penguin Party. So anyway, there will be more information about this on this website. I think I have the November class to go on here, but I don't have the Penguin Party information. However, I do think the Penguin Party information is on my blog. So jump over to my blog and you'll see that. All right, so Ever Eden, here's the information, just the basic information about the 2 classes in November. You might take a screenshot of that, and there is more information about November Class to Go posted right below this on this website, and then on my blog is the information about the penguin party, and it will be on this by this afternoon. All right, so let's get to it. All right, this is the card. This is one of the cards that you will receive the kit for. Isn't that pretty? Get it up here where you can see it. I did a touch of the gold with my little scallop border behind the sending hugs, and then the ribbon. So with the collection, one of the things available with the collection, besides the stamp set, the dies, the designer series paper, is this set of garden gems. And you have these that are really, they reflect whatever color they're around. And then these are little oblong shaped stones to use on your cards. And we use 3 of them on this card, here, here, and here. So, anyway, there's also a package of cotton paper that's available with this collection. And one of the cards in the November Class to Go uses that cotton paper. So, let's get with it. The base is the white, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then you use your bone folder. Give it a good crease. So that's our base, and it's the basic white paper. All right, and then our card front is this piece of the designer series paper, and you can see the gold. Isn't that pretty? Hope you can see it. You should be able to see it. Anyway, the gold is there. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on. Get it on with our stamp and seal. And center it. Okay, get that centered. Now, we're going to build our wreath. And the way we're going to do that is, I found the easiest way. Well, let me do this. I went ahead and cut the borders, and there's a border for the top and a border for the bottom, and these are just 4 inches. So let's go ahead and attach those. And you know I'm going to use liquid glue for that, the green glue. Oh, it's going to go good. I wasn't expecting it to go. All right, so we're going to put one right up here at the top, snug with the border, or snug with the edge of the paper. Whoops, I messed it up that time. Okay. I keep moving it. There. Got that one. Isn't that a pretty border? I just love what it looks like. This one. Down here. Now we've got our border on. So I found the easiest way to do the wreath is to cut whatever paper I'm going to use on my wreath. And you can use gold, you can use white, you can use the greens. So I chose to use the 2 greens to give it some depth. And I cut these into 4 by 4 squares. So I've got the evening evergreen and the soft succulent cut into 4 by 4 squares. Then we're going to bring in the big die, this die right here. Move and bring in my stamp, cut, and emboss machine. So I'm going to move these out of the way so that hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Let's see. Move this out of the way. All right. Hopefully you can see this. So what I'm going to do is use my die and position it halfway. So I'm only going to cut that piece. Then we're going to turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. Okay. I need to make sure okay. Take this off. Get my piece. Alright. Here's that one. That. 3. There we go. And there's a couple of places. Take a pick tool and poke those out while I'm thinking about it. There's just like 3, 4, well, there's several. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. I think we got them all. Okay, so I've got those poked out, and I'll set this aside. Oops, there's another one. There. Alright, I'm going to shake off my plate. Alright, now we're ready for the other side. Put that there. Put that right there. Plate down over it, and here we go. It's hard to do this sideways. You can't put as much pressure on it sideways as when you're going front to back. All right. Get this one. Oh, here, let me poke these out first. Okay. Okay. I think we got them all. All right. Got that one. And now we have our soft succulent to do. That was the evening evergreen. And here's our soft succulent. Put this on it. Just a tiny bit. Alright, we're going to do it. It's very hard to turn that sideways. My arm is not that strong. Alright, hopefully I cut far enough. I think I did. Yep, I did. Okay, get this out. And poke the pieces out. I could have done this ahead of time, but I wanted you to see how it's done. And especially those, you know, if you decide to do the class, it makes it so much easier to see how this is done. All right, there's one of them. Let me get this one cleaned off. And we're ready for the second one, the second half. of our die cut. And you know, it's not precise. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, because we're going to cut them apart anyway. All right, here we go. Okay, back it back out. Oh, that was a workout for my arm. Okay, get this out. Take a pick tool is wonderful for things like this. I'm going to get my paper out of my die while I'm right here. And there again, I take a pick tool. It just works wonders. Okay, I think I got it all. Alright. Put my die back over there. Get the pieces out of my die cut. That was me. Depends on where you cut it. Okay, I've got it all. Get this cleaned off. Move this out of the way. Roll it in a little so the plate doesn't fall off. Alright. Alright, here we go. Now, this is the fun part because it's not precise. Oops, there's another little. You're going to find little random pieces. You just play around with it. So I'm going to trim this. I'm going to cut each piece in half. And I'm going to trim this right along here. And I probably did it differently. And then I'm going to round this a little bit, but it's not going to matter because it's not going to show. All right, so I've trimmed that one and this one. And see the edge where we cut it. If you want to trim that up, you can. You know, just follow along. You can do it any way you want. I'm going to cut it right there and cut it here. And it's going to be different every time you do your cut because you're going to put it in a little bit different place. Alright, got that one done. I'm going to sort of do the same thing here. I'm just going to go right along there. And then I'll come along and round that corner. Nobody will know. There's that. I'm going to round this off. That little piece right there. Alright, and then I'm going to cut this. Looks like I can do it in the very same place. Round it. Round the corner. That one. And round this just a little bit. Got that one. And cut that one right there. Round this just a tiny bit. And around this here. I'm just going to leave that. Alright. Put those out of the way. Now we're ready to form our wreath. So it doesn't matter where you start. I alternated. You could do all of the light, one color on the bottom, and all of the dark on the top, or vice versa. But I alternated them. And you want your wreath to be round. So, and they overlap. Okay. I think when I glue this down, it's going to be just fine. Sort of there. Okay. I'm going to start by gluing this piece down. And you know, wreaths aren't perfectly round, are they? They're not. You go to the store and look. They're not perfectly round. So I don't get too uptight about things being perfectly symmetrical because they're just not always that way. There you go. I'm going to let that be my base. That's going to be my starting point. And you don't need much glue either. And the key is rounding it. Oh, I think that's going to be perfect. So here's this. This is where some of the bigger leaves are. There's that. And then this one. All right. And you see this one's going to overlap quite a bit. All right, there's our circle. And then I'm going to come back and do the light over the dark. There's that one. Hold it down a minute because it's beginning to build up. Okay, and then my dark over my light. So I'll do this one right here. And then my light over my dark. If you cut several of these at the same time, it makes the process so much quicker because this part is not hard at all. Come on, glue down. And then the last one is going to be right here. And you know, on a wreath, you have pieces sticking out here and yonder. And that's what this is going to do. Now, there's our wreath. And this is going to go in the center. So I've already cut this out, and I used my layered circles, my layered scallop circles, I think is what they're called. Layering circles framelits. Layering circles framelits. And there's 2 sheets of those in here. So you've got, these are magnetic sheets, so they stick together. You've got a variety of sizes to use, just the plain circle and then the scallop. So they are really great for layering sentiment pieces. Okay, I'll get this back in. Put that one back. Alright, so this is my sentiment piece. And I'm going to bring in something to stamp on. And I'm going to use the sentiment, Sending Hugs. And I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen. Right there. Okay. So I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen. I'm just going to tap, 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 because I don't want to get ink around the outside edges, because invariably it'll get on here if I do that. So I think I've got it. I'm using my grid here and the grid lines to hopefully get this straight. Which, see, this Take a Pick tool is wonderful for getting things off of your ink pad too. Alright, that done. And now I'm going to put my sentiment piece onto my gold using my green glue, because once I get it on here, I'm going to want to move it just a little bit. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to use dimensionals to put it on my wreath. So I'll put one there, one there, one there, and one more. And one there. And get the backing off of them. And center it. I have to look at it head on. Okay. There we go. Is that straight? Yes. It doesn't look straight sideways. And then we're going to finish off this card with some of the garden gems. Again, I'm going to use my Take a Pick tool. And I'm going to use the medium size. On one of the cards, I actually use the, oops, I'm going to move that down just, that's not where I wanted to move it to. I'm going to move it to right there. On one of the cards, I actually use these. So, that's fun too. I'm going to put this one right there. And one more right here. And now, I'm going to tie my bow. This is the gold shimmer ribbon, I believe is what it's called. And I cut off a small piece. And I hope it's going to be big enough. This one was already cut. And I thought, I'm going to try to use it. It's smaller than I would normally use. And the one in the kit will be a little bit bigger than this. But let's see if I can get it. I hate to waste, especially the gold things. I hate to waste the ribbon. Come on. It is not wanting to come through. Of course this is going to do this today. Alright, let's try this again. Poke this through. I may not get this tied today. Y'all may have to just use your imaginations. Alright. See, it's too small, but I'm just determined not to waste this piece of ribbon. So, here we go. Yeah, it's too small. This is going to be a tiny bow. Your bow will be a little bit bigger because I'll give you more ribbon than this. Okay. Now, we're finally getting it. Alright. And in the process, I've shredded the end of that ribbon. Alright. I'm going to trim that ribbon. Well, I need to trim this one a little more. I'm going to do it this way. Well, these aren't my ribbon scissors, so they're not doing just great. And then I'm going to use a glue dot. And get this ribbon on my wreath. Now, if you wanted to put it at the top, you could. I didn't. I wanted it at the bottom. Whoops. I must not have caught that. I didn't catch the glue dot. Okay. There we go. I don't remember. I didn't do the inside. All right. So there is our card. Sending hugs. Let's get it down a little bit. I'm sorry. I have to look up at my computer screen to see whether I'm in the picture or not. All right. So this is one of your November Class to Go cards using the Eden's Garden stamp set, which we used for just the cinnamon on this one, and your Ever Eden Designer Series paper and your dies. So, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that you'll participate in the Class to Go. I think you'll love this stamp set. There's so many different ways to use it. And of course, you really need the dies. I mean, the stamps, you can stamp a wreath and it's beautiful, but you really need the dies to go with this set. All right, any questions? Hi, Monisa. I see you. All right. So keep an eye on this after this post is over, and I'll post the information about the penguin party, a black and white party. Thank you for watching. And those of you who are watching the replay, thank you so much. And let me know that you've watched it. You can either comment or just hit like. I would love that. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.